All right, folks, so you know that Schroeder, Sharon Schroeder, is a producer of Digital Rising Stars, but you may not know that most, if not all, the contestants call her Auntie Shar.
Because you're old.
Even though her handle in social is Sexy Shar, but that's
Oh,
another
God.
story.
Right?
Different
She's
story.
sexy too
Different
much, you're
person.
old. She's sexy too much, you're
Different
old.
person, right? All right, but that's how close she is to them. That's the bond, that's the rapport that they have. So it's no surprise that she flew out recently to support one of her babies, who's a big boy, all grown up now, and she's here to tell us about the X Factor and the Dalton experience. I always loved when they called his name Dalton. Hello, Miss. How you doing?
I am good.
Morning.
So,
Morning.
Way back then.
She
Very
didn't
bad.
bring any. She didn't bring any. No barrier. I was watching a video this morning on social from when Dalton won
Rising Stars.
Rising Stars, and just how overwhelmed he was. And he said, "Look for me, guys. Look for me coming down the road." Tell me what it was like working with him then. Did you see that element of this young man could be a star?
Wow, I remember that day. I remember meeting him, and he was just really special. You know, you could tell that he was going through a lot, but this is what he wanted. The fact that Dalton don't live near anything, as in where he lives in Clarendon, is far.
Remote.
Yeah, man. And for him to journey from there, I think he went to St. Anne because his daddy was there, but still to leave from Clarendon, go to St. Anne, and then come to Rising Stars. I'm sure he didn't really know how he was getting back home that day. And just that drive, that energy, you know, that the dream, you know, he knew what he wanted. During the show, during the competition, we were really close, and he just knew what he wanted. He knew what he wanted. I don't think he knew he was going to win Rising Stars then, just like how he didn't know he was going to win
X Factor.
X Factor.
Well, when he won Rising Stars, what was your expectation, and how does that stack up with what actually happened with him? Because I think he said it. He feels that he wasn't supported enough. I mean, Donovan Jermaine has said the talent he has, he expected him to get more local play.
Yeah, but you know, it's something that it's really sad, and I think it's an issue within the industry. I don't think we're lacking in the industry. So management, especially, we don't have managers in the industry. And when you win Rising Stars, I mean, when we just started, we used to have a recording contract. We don't have that anymore. So you kind of hope that somebody sees them and takes them. You know,
Yeah.
so they do get, I think when Dalton won, Pawpaw wasn't his first song. He actually did another song, I think, called I'm in Love or something, because we actually shot a video for it. And so he did go into the studio, he did record, we did the video, but there was no support. There was no support. He did, I think the first time he performed Pawpaw was on Rising Stars. I think I brought him back and he performed Pawpaw. A couple of years ago, he came back for another show. So every time that he was on the radio, not radio, but just on media, was really when we brought him back. You know, nobody really supported him, and his songs were great. Pawpaw was
Pawpaw's a great song.
A great song, and the support just wasn't there. So. And it goes for majority of the Rising Stars. I mean, Romaine and Chris and Ladden and even Jody and Pantry, you know, Noddy sometimes, you know, you'll hear them on the radio. No more you hear Natel, you hear Savannah, you hear Indie, you know, people are now starting to play them, but there's really no support.
What
There's
about
no support.
X Factor? Surprised that he won?
No, I wasn't surprised. You know, when you hear it, when you watch it on TV and you hear them chanting his name and the response, when you're there and you hear it again, and I'm just like,
See you there, by the way.
wow.
You're there part of it.
You and Ali.
Ali.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you hear it inside there, I mean, it's 12,500 people that are inside of that arena. And when you hear them chanting his name, it is amazing,
But
amazing.
that was the final night.
It was Saturday.
Throughout.
I know, but were you surprised that even, you know, at the start that
No,
you,
man.
did you think that he would do as well as he did?
He was so determined, not necessarily determined to win, but just determined. You know, he knew he had competition. he wanted to make sure he had the best songs. And, you know, Dalton even got sick when he was there. He had no voice. I think right before he performed I Have Nothing, he had no voice. And he messaged me and he's like, yeah, I don't have a voice. And so I'm telling him, you know, what remedies we use on Rising Stars. And I called Mike Harris and I'm like, you know, this is, what does Dalton need to take? And they took him to the doctor and he just said, you know, he said, they put me on vocal rest, but he didn't broadcast it. You know, nobody knew.
Very strategic.
Yeah,
he
man,
shared only what he thought.
Nobody knew that he was sick. And he just knew what he wanted. I mean, I don't think at any point he expected to win, you know, but I did because I could tell from watching and
but the Brits also knew because the bookies had him as the favorite to win.
He had the best voice in the competition.
I saw a video with a pub. I mean, the pub erupted. There were about 1,000 people in there. None of them looked like us.
No,
guys.
It was amazing. On the Saturday night, so after the show, they have an after party. And we went to the after party, and when Dalton walked in, he literally, God, I can't believe that video. When he walked in, all these little kids, you know, are running up to him, Dalton, 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 sign this, sign that. And they're like about 10, 11 years old, you know, and signing autographs, and, you know, everybody's surrounding him, and he's doing all of this. And I was just like, yeah, man, from you see this?
Yeah. What happens for him now?
I know he's doing several interviews. I mean, I can barely talk to him.
No, but as he goes on,
well, he won $1 million recording contract. And I think it's a 4-album deal. But how it is that you do the first one and then they see how it is before they say, okay, you can do a second or third or fourth. So a lot of it is really up to them. So I think now he's just having meetings with Sony and Psycho and just trying to work out, you know, where he's going to go from here. And then this song is just gorgeous. Too,
it is amazing.
And you know what's funny? People in the audience were singing and nobody heard the song before.
But it was #1 on iTunes the very same night. He wrote the song, right?
I don't know if it was him and James Arthur who probably did it together. But
what I love about Dalton's choice of music and the songs he does is that he's always chronicling a story about his life, which I think is what makes him so relatable. How did he, Shara, was he talking to you throughout about how he was reacting to some of the foolishness on social media?
Yeah, man.
How did he manage to stay centered and stay grounded?
One thing that I've noticed with Dalton recently is that he has just gotten so positive, and that's all he's grown up. He's, you know, he's not he still is a little country boy. I'm still give trouble, but he's all grown up now, and he knows what he wants, and he knows that if you dwell on the negativity, it's going to affect you. So I was always talking to him and saying to him, you know, don't focus on it, don't focus on it, and he's like, yeah, I know, and but he was just so, he made you feel inspired. I made you feel so positive.
He's very eloquent.
You know,
very articulate.
By the way, I know with Rising Stars, you guys have auditions and stuff. Is the same thing with X Factor? He would have had to pay his way, go up there.
And he actually auditioned. He said to me where the finals was where he auditioned.
Wembley.
Yeah, and he said, you know, it was so surreal to actually now be walking back in there as a finalist, you know, and doing it all over again, but in front of people.
At the top?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm sure hundreds of thousands.
It's
huge. It's huge.
What was I going to ask you a while ago, Sharon? No, I lost my train of thought. He's never fought. Was he actually performing on cruise ships at one point?
Yeah.
So that's what he was doing between Casey and this?
When he left Casey, he went to Florida because his sister is there.
Okay.
And then he started doing the cruise ship. So a lot of people who were actually there supporting him, who were sitting down with us, were his friends and family from the cruise ship. So they all came.
What a great story.
Brilliant.
I want to know when the book is coming out.
I know.
I want to know where the barrel is.
It's amazing.
What? It's outside.
Oh, okay.
Kadeen has it.
Anti-Sharon. All foot anti-Sharon, which is why I'm calling her anti-Sharon. Good to see you, my friend.
Same here.
Always great to see you. Sharon Schroeder, producer of Rising Stars and my bona fide
mentor and friend of Dalton Harris. Everybody's a sister in Bridget.
She is my sister.
In the context of this interview, she's Dalton's mentor and friend.
Dalton is my baby.
Please send him all our love.
That's a different baby.
Oh.
Just always going to be a good. You're a chopped liver. Is it clear?
Because nobody baby, you're vexed. I am your baby. Yeah, we're going to go for a break, me and my baby. We soon come. She had enough problem.